Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. That marvelous timekeeper on your wrist is built to run trouble-free for years, but you will need a watchmaker to give it the once-over at some point. That visit to the service center is even closer than you care to worry about when you buy a used watch. Let's see how it went for me by comparing the experience between servicing a Grand Seiko with an Omega here in Hong Kong. Let's start with Omega. My Speedmaster Moonwatch had always been running about 20 seconds fast ever since I purchased it in late 2017. As a side note that could be useful to you, someone on a forum had mentioned that a Moonwatch might not run that much faster when magnetized compared to other watches which tend to run some 3-4 minutes faster, for example. So I finally decided to bring it to the service center located in the most expensive retail space in the world, on Russell Street in Causeway Bay, right across from Times Square, on the first floor of a swanky Omega boutique. As you walk in, you are greeted by several smiling, well-suited employees, and one of them escorts you up to the first floor when an English-speaking lady takes down your details. I had with me the warranty card and we inspected the watch together and agreed on the repair to be done. I was offered a refreshment and received in a nice branded envelope an invoice with logging details to follow in real time the progress of the service work, which I find incredibly comforting. I was given a 1-week time frame, and to my surprise, after only 2 days, I got the call back that the watch had been timed, demagnetized and regulated, and that it was ready to pick up, free of charge of course. If that is not prime service, I don't know what is. You even get the watch back in a lovely quality red pouch. Just for that, it was worth it. Oh, and the accuracy now? I kid you not. After 1 day, it was still running bang on time. Now, let's compare this lovely experience to the Grand Seiko experience. The brand has several prime location 80s here. As a reminder, I had purchased this flagship GMT limited edition in December last year and paid before the shop employee removed the protecting plastics, not expecting in a million years any issue. I immediately noticed that the bezel insert did not align properly, but the salesman refused to acknowledge the flaw on this expensive item. That's the first big problem with the brand: poor sales staff's training. I had become very accustomed to misaligned chapter rings and bezels in Seiko Prospex models in that same shop. They're very nice and give me good discounts, but they seem to be the dump for QC rejects that other brands in the same price bracket would not send out. Something is so wrong at Seiko that even Grand Seiko could not eradicate the issue. Manufacturer defects are not flagged, probably as a result of the company culture, something rather common in Japanese corporations, which contrasts with how thorough service generally is in that amazing country. So I took the watch home, enjoyed it for 2 weeks, then researched the service center details, as I felt more comfortable bringing the watch myself rather than dealing with that AD. Turned out it was way far on the other side of town, in a location as remote from swanky Times Square as, say, Queens is from New York's Times Square. Anyway, I get on the tube early one morning, walked about 20 minutes and arrive to the anonymous building. I take the elevator, and to my relief, although the service center is operated by a local contractor called Tongxia, everything is branded Seiko with many models on display and about 10 watchmakers at work behind the front desk. I'm the only customer there, and I try to explain to the girl, who can't really speak much English, what's going on. I noticed next to her a bunch of watches packed in little plastic bags, by the way. She tries to understand my problem, gives me a waiting number, and asks me to sit down a bit. Already there, you know that she's not accustomed to dealing with such issues. Anyway, after 5 minutes, she calls me back and says the process will take a couple of weeks. I do ask her if the watch needs to go back to Japan, and she says no. We agree that the watch is spotless, and she fills in some paperwork and gives me some sheet of paper as a receipt. Already my confidence in the process is not at its peak. If you have watched my previous videos, you know what follows. Several exchanges of phone calls for a total of 2 months that ended up with that barely English-speaking girl asking if I would agree to send the watch back to Japan for 3 months. I don't know what has been done. I don't have any tracking information, nothing. I just live on the hope that they haven't damaged the watch and that they have indeed sent it over. And what's the deal with the 3 months? Why 3? Why not 1 month or 10 months? How can they assess the time it will take to fix such a minor problem up front? So I'm looking at May now, but honestly I don't get my hopes up. So that's the sort of service you can expect from Grand Seiko, at least if you don't live in Japan or the USA. I'm not talking about opening up the watch, it's just about a stupid bezel insert. I'll keep you guys updated on this, but you get the idea. For the same price, buying Omega is also buying yourself peace of mind. And just like you know your Omega won't let you down, you know that the brand will not give up on you either. A viewer had commented that Grand Seiko are true handmade watches and that it's normal that watches in need of service should go back to the atelier. Be that as it may, it means that at the end of the day, however gigantic Seiko is, Grand Seiko, now independent, is pretty much a boutique watch producer that can't handle issues swiftly and rely on poorly trained staff to handle their carefully crafted products overseas. For a brand that has the audacity of pushing up their prices above Rolex's for a 3-hander this year, I would operate with caution if I was you. If you're going to compete with high-end brands, you'd better have the service to back it up. If anybody at Grand Seiko is watching, feel free to comment or contact me to prove me wrong. Bye bye guys.